It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Here we go. Good morning and welcome once again to your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso, only on S3. And welcome to your culinary hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting! Getting in there this morning. You know what? In light of Africa Day tomorrow, we thought we would like to do some of our favorite African, or rather African-inspired dishes. And one that is such a big street food in South Africa is a classic vetkoek and mince curry. Amagwenya. Now, if you have, of course, any questions or culinary conundrums, just as much as it is difficult to say as well, you can voice note us on our WhatsApp line 063-408-8863. And one of the most beautiful chefs in the land. He's here. Step closer, my friend. Kalem is here. Did you hear? Kalem is here.
C-E-L-E-M.
What?
Kalem.
No, I'm confused now, Bru. Let's stick to the recipe, Bru. Listen, there's nothing like a good vetkoek and mince on a cold winter's day.
I agree. And also, how amazing mince features in so many of our local dishes in South Africa.
Absolutely.
A baboeti, frikadels, and again in this mince curry. And Oma onedikombesa, it's in there. Yeah. It's in so many of the dishes. And I think it's because our moms are so smart. They know, like, with a little bit of mince, you can feed the nation.
You can go a long way. Yeah. And listen, it's so nice to make your own at home. Of course, you can go out and buy a vetkoek, but it's special to make your own. Okay, and this is why Clem is here, Clem, to show us exactly how it's made. Okay, cool. So we got a lot of stuff going on here.
Yes. Let's swap sides. Okay. So let's talk about the mince curry. What's absolutely amazing about it is...
Sorry, that was a very quick... That
was good, eh?
That was good. I saw you worked it in there.
If you make it today, it was going to taste so amazing tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So make a big batch of it. And it's going to start off with onions, okay? And I'm adding it to a little bit of oil. If you have ghee at home, and if you don't have ghee, get some ghee. If you have ghee at home, get that into your pot right now. Okay. It's a clarified butter, so you can cook with it. It's not going to burn like normal butter does.
Yes.
So you can actually fry in it.
One of those magic ingredients.
One of those magic ingredients. So what I do at home is when I buy curry leaves and I have any left over, I keep them in the freezer. They just last forever that way. Okay. So right now we're going to the freezer, put a few curry leaves in here. It's a great way to cheat and make a good curry taste amazing. Yeah. Curry leaves.
Okay, love it. Nice little tip there.
So get this, you want this to cook low and slow.
Low and slow.
I'm talking about 15 minutes before you add the
Oh, really? So you want to make sure it's nice and soft and translucent.
Really soft. You want the sugars to come out. And a way to help the sugars come out is to add a little bit of salt. Brings out the moisture, helps it steam as it fries, and then soften a little quicker than normal. Okay. To that. Now, imagine South Africa. Imagine it's 15 minutes, golden brown.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay, cool.
We're going to go in with our mince.
Righto.
And you can use chicken mince. You can use beef mince, lamb mince. You can even use, don't come for me, soy mince. Okay. Soy mince is absolutely amazing. Yeah. I love soy mince curry. It's honestly delicious. So get your mince in there and don't make the pieces too small. Keep it a little chunky. Okay. And then get that in there. And questions that were asked before the segment started. Should you rinse your mince for this one? You can rinse your mince if you want to. We know it's okay. You can rinse your mince.
Okay. So I've never rinsed mince before.
In the beginning, we had a huge debate about do you or don't you rinse your mince.
So how do you go about rinsing your mince?
So some people, and I'm not going to mention names, Zoe Brown, says that she rinses her mince. And we actually had this huge discussion. We got the whole country involved. We got professional chefs involved.
Are you guys gossiping about me?
I didn't even know you were here today.
Rinse your mince.
No, you know what? It's just how I grew up. It was normal. You get a packet of mince, you give it a quick rinse under the under the tap, and then you put it in your pot. I sometimes use like a colander, but you don't need to rinse/wash your mince. It's just a little bit of a rinse. Yeah. It's how my mom got taught to do her mince. It's how I got. So I just always assumed it was normal until I came here, and it was the biggest joke on the planet.
Well, we now know it is normal because half the country rinses their mince.
Do you rinse your mince?
And I feel like that kind of matches the theme of the food today. It's about heritage and how we're taught and how we're brought up and culture.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how my mama does it. That's how I do it.
Exactly. Sure. I love it. Zoe. I love that tip, and then one day I'm going to rinse my mince, and I will tag you in it to let you know how it came out. I'm excited to do that.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Thanks, Zoe. That was very sneaky, snuck up on us.
All right. Mince has gone in, and I added a little bit of curry spice. It's got some turmeric in there. It's got a little bit of ground cardamom in there. It's got a bit of chili in there. I've also got garam masala, and I'm going to add that closer to the end of cooking.
Okay.
So we use garam masala as a finishing spice, almost in a sense.
Just to give that pop of flavor.
There we go. So you can already notice the oils that I do have in here.
Yeah, nicely absorbing there.
And it's starting to release the color of the turmeric that's in the curry spice, and you want that to happen. Add a little bit of oil, or I could have added butter to that if I wanted, or the ghee.
Okay.
We're gonna fry that up. Peas go in. You want to add the peas not in this stage right now.
Okay, so when the mince is more done.
You kind of find that peas go a little gray, a little soft.
Yeah.
When they're cooked for too long.
We still want that color.
You want the color, want the pop.
Yeah.
Garlic and ginger go in there, and that was a very shame amount of garlic and ginger.
You can go a little bit crazy with the garlic.
You can go a lot crazy with your garlic and ginger.
Yeah.
Get that in there.
If the whole household eats a lot of garlic at the same time, it's fine.
It's fine.
Fine.
Okay, so peas. Let's not do peas. Let's go potatoes. I haven't boiled these, right? Because I want these to cook.
So they are
in there.
As natural as they can get.
As natural as you can get them, minus their skins.
I like the fact you keep it big and chunky.
That's the thing, though. The potato almost becomes a meal, a little element on its own, and when it gets to like day 3 and you got like this much mince, you still got chunky potatoes, and that's substantial. So keep it chunky.
It's a good way to bulk up your meal as
Absolutely.
well.
Get them in there raw. What's going to happen is it's going to absorb all the spices in there.
Okay.
That's when you get that potato that's super saturated, full of flavor.
Because we know potatoes do that, eh?
They do.
If you want to remedy a salty dish, potatoes.
Oh, yes.
I know.
Absolutely.
I've learned a thing or two on the show over the years. I really did.
Can I get a little bit of water?
You can. Here we go.
We don't need a lot of water. You just need enough to help steam these potatoes. So once you add your water, that's enough. You can pop the lid on, slightly ajar so some of that moisture can evaporate as the potatoes cook.
Yeah, you don't want a soup at the end.
You don't. Once those potatoes are super soft.
And now the peas go in.
In with the peas.
Can you use frozen peas?
You can use frozen peas. You can use fresh peas. You can use whatever peas you have on hand. If you have canned peas as well, get them in there.
Right,
but the most important thing, salt.
Yep.
A little bit of extra garam masala. And the fed cook is really simple. We've done so many recipes on the show on how to make fed cook.
Yeah.
Go and check them out on the website. All you got to do is shape them after you've got your dough, fry them, and you're good. My gwing-gwings with mince curry. I mean, a fed cook and mince.
Come
legendary. This leftover tomorrow in a toasted sandwich.
Yes.
Done.
It's going to even develop more overnight. Like I said, it's going to be even better. Listen, if you want to get your hands on this particular recipe, it is one of our favorite street food options, expressoshow.com. That is the website. And this is the Culinary Hotline. Bling, ting, 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 ting. Exactly. Clem, thank you very much, my friend. I'm looking forward to some more African-inspired dishes. I know that you've got a lot planned and a special guest.
A lot, yes.
Oh, you see, when Clem goes a lot, then you know something is going to go down in the kitchen today. So stick around for the Culinary Hotline. A little bit later, Clem is going to be back in action.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Good morning, South Africa, and welcome back to another installment of the Culinary Hotline. Bling, ting, ting, ting. In the kitchen this morning, I am blessed to be with Chef B herself, Bolewa Morara. How are you?
Hi, Clem. I'm very well, and you?
I'm so good. I've got this like food association with you. When I see you, even when you're not cooking, my body just goes, and I get like so comfy and I feel so good and warm inside because the food that you cook is emotional. Like it
hits the soul.
It's for the soul. It's food therapy. I mean, the deliciousness never ends with you. So I'm very surprised and excited to hear this morning that we're making something that I've never had. Creamy sam and mash.
No, it's mashed creamy sam.
Mashed creamy sam. It sounds so good. It sounds so good. Like, honestly, I feel like you can have that on its own, it'd be amazing. But then if you add anything spicy to it, anything rich and with the gravy, it's gonna take it to like cloud 9. Where do we begin with this dish?
What I did, I soaked my samp overnight, and you just need to soak it for about 2 to 4 hours. And once your starches has released in the morning, what you do is rinse it up, and
one rinse.
make sure. No.
How many times do you rinse your samp when you soak it?
You have to rinse it up until you see that the water is translucent.
So it's a labor of love, but the results are pretty amazing.
indeed.
So we've soaked it, we've rinsed it quite a bit now, overnight. It's been chilling in the water, so it's hydrated. Do we cook it now?
Yes.
Okay, so talk to me about cooking samp. Do we salt our water? Don't we salt our water? Can we go straight samp into boiling water? What are the rules of cooking samp?
Okay, what I do, I bring my water to boil, make sure that it's extremely hot. I don't add seasoning or salt. We only season after. So my water has been boiling here. So what I do...
Let me get you back on. Yeah, you go for it. Wrong one. There we go. Go for it. So
I'll add my cooked samp to my boiling water.
And truth time, how long does it cook for?
For about 40 to an hour.
Okay, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I know some people be cooking their samp for like 2 hours.
It's because we use the trick to soak it overnight, so that's why.
That's the difference. Soaking cuts down your cooking time. I love it. So it puffs up, it looks delicious like this. I mean, the difference I wish I could actually get one of the dry ones, but the difference is pretty amazing and astounding, how much it actually puffs up and how much texture it gets after it's soaked and cooked. That looks perfect and amazing on its own, but we're not done there. What happens next?
So I've cooked the samp. It's super soft. It has to be really extremely super soft. And then what I'll do, I'll boil my potatoes.
Got you. Do you need heat on this one?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you're boiling potatoes, and this one we're going into cold water, salted water, or no?
Salted water.
Salted water, okay. So, and also the rule is, if something grows underground, a vegetable, you're always going to start cooking it from cold water. If you're cooking something that grows above the ground, hot water. So potatoes, beetroot, sweet potato,
Cold water.
always cold water, and then everything else hot. So I love that idea. I like the people know that and know the difference. So cool, potatoes going, samp going. This is our done potatoes.
This is what you'll get once your potatoes are cooked. They must be super soft. So what you'll do...
Chef B coming through with all that strength.
Mashed it up. Make sure that you mash it up. I love using russet potatoes for this recipe because it comes out really smooth and soft. The richness and the creaminess coming out of the potatoes, it is explosive when it's coming.
I don't often see that we mix starches, and I kind of think it's a good idea. So mixing samp and potato, I think, is pretty cool because you're getting that texture, you're getting the creaminess.
Yes.
And is this a recipe you came up with on your own, or is this something that's been around that you just, Chef B, sprinkled on it?
My mom used to love cooking this, but what she did when she cooked a samp, and she'll add the potatoes to the samp, and they won't go like super smooth. She just wants you to get the texture. What I did by myself is mash the potatoes on the side and just do mashed creamy samp.
I like that's kind of your vibe, right?
Because it's always boring when you go to restaurants, you always have a mash as a starch. So I just mix it up together. I mix my mash and my creamy samp, and voila.
The food that you cook is very nostalgic, but you can tell that there's been an influence, and that's you. So I love the flavors. It's very familiar, but there's always that exciting element where you stepped in as a chef and just taken something that we're so used to and are taking it to like 2023.
Yeah.
But it's still like local. It's still amazing. It's still delicious. That's your food. So tell the people if they actually do want to try your food. Can I tell them where you go?
Yeah.
You tell them where. Where can people come and experience your food?
At the Spade Boutique Hotel and at Kwaese Kitchen.
And if you want to see more of that, we got a little interview we filmed with you, which is going to be coming out later this week. So we're going behind the scenes with Chef B. It was an amazing day. I think I nearly fell asleep thrice because the food put me in a food coma. It was so amazing. So look out for that. That's going to be coming out this week. Okay, mashed, samped. How does it all come together?
So you leave a bit of water at the bottom. And what you do is take your mashed potatoes and add them to your samp.
Is this something we can make ahead of time, or do you kind of want to keep it fresh?
Keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh. Okay, so do the mixing as close to serving as possible.
Yes.
Got you. I'm so curious when the cream comes in and when the butter comes in. There's also one thing I noticed about you. You love butter. But you spent some time in Europe, didn't you?
Yeah, I was in France, La Rochelle.
in France. I mean, that's the influence of all that butter that you use, but butter's love.
I love salted butter.
Hey.
I add salted butter to my vegetables. I add it everywhere. I love salted butter.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish this dish off when we come back a little later. Chef B, can you tell us what we're making in the last installment?
We're making lamb trincado.
Lamb trincado. I love it. So
It's a lamb
do
trincado.
not go.
Lamb trincado pochi.
Ah, oh, poiki. Oh my goodness. Okay, so South Africa, don't miss out. We'll be right back with some more Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
South Africa, welcome back to another installment of the Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting. Chef B's back in the kitchen for... Chef B, I'm sorry, the smells. I'm so distracted. It smells so good. We're celebrating Africa and all the influence when it comes to food. This dish is a nice amalgamation of a lot of influence. You're going a little bit of Mozambican. I see some curry spices happening over there. What are we making?
So what we'll be making now is a lamb trincado pochi.
Ah!
So early on, we left our sam to simmer.
Yes, we're going to finish up that sam. So the sam went in, mashed potatoes, cream going in.
Yeah, so we gooi in our
Gooi
cream.
is the technical term.
And then we put our salted butter, my favorite. And then we give it a stir.
Oh, that looks so good. It looks so comforting.
Look at it. So beautiful getting together.
Because all that extra cream gets absorbed by the mash plus by that sam.
Yeah.
So you can't see the goodness, and then you eat it.
Yeah.
And then it's there.
So we add Africa favorite aromat.
It's an African favorite. It
So
is.
you just sprinkle to your liking, and voila.
Wah.
You're done with shit
Oh
with
my
the dish.
goodness. So that with this potjie we're about to make. Food coma, instant happiness, joy.
So we'll leave that to simmer and we'll serve later.
Yes. So we got our potjie, and normally you can use a flat bottom potjie, but we're cooking on gas today. And I'm actually seeing that the distance between the gas and the potjie is perfect because we're gonna go low and slow. So that's quite a cool hack. I like that. So we're talking lamb. And I see we got like a nice cut of lamb shoulder here.
Yes.
That's perfect. But you can kind of play around with the cuts with this one, right?
Yes, you can play around. You can use beef. You can use your lamb rump. You can use any meat that's on the bone.
And I like the
But
fact
you
that
have
it's
to.
on the bone.
The trick is to cook it until it falls off the bone.
Because that bone gives you flavor. And then someone sits there with that bone and they're like, that's the idea. Okay, so into the potjie. How do we start this dish?
So what you'll do, I seal this.
And the seal is quite important because, I mean, that's the first element of flavor you can add to the dish. So you seal that off. Looks
And
beautiful.
then I added my marinade, which is paprika. Yes, a bit of salt, some olive oil, and 6 gun spice.
So this went onto the lamb first and then you sealed it.
Yes.
All right, I love it. Okay, so what's next? So
what I do next is that I take my lamb shoulder and I transfer it over to the pot.
Nice. I'm gonna hear in the ear. We've actually got some comments from social media. We do. Let's go. I'm gonna take a walk over here. Shireen Abrams. Good morning, Shireen. She says, good morning, Clem and the team. Happy Wednesday. My favorite that you just made, fake cook and mince curry. Fake cook and mince curry, absolutely amazing. Also love a bunny chow. Loving the Culinary Hotline as always. Have a super day, team. Thank you so much, Shireen. Josephine Pixton, our other presenter, she works for the show. Yes, she does. She's loving samp and beans all the way. Samp and beans is such an amazing dish. And wherever you travel around the country, you always see different variations and different versions of samp and beans. Samp and mash. That's a new one for me, and I can't wait to try it. Oh, we got more comments. Here we go. Okay, so we've got Kula Kakle says, the inside stomach of the cow's tripe. Tripe, you love tripe?
A favorite.
I'm obsessed with tripe.
It's
I love
my
it. I love
favorite.
it. Khomotso says, apart from the lovely South African dishes today, I'm going with igusi soup and pap from Nigeria.
Igusi.
Hey,
With fufu
our
pap.
viewers have got some serious South African flavor taste happening right now. That's amazing. So let's go back to our potjie. Things are smoking. Things are happening.
So what I'll do now is that I'll add my
Onion.
onion.
The thing about a potjie is
So
slow and
the
slow, right?
neck is already releasing the oils.
Okay, cool.
So what you have Next, you take your bay leaf, put it inside. I add my curry powder. In Portugal, trinchada is a dish originally from Mozambique. So what they actually used to do, they used to take leftover meats from the previous night and they cook it in a sweet tomato sauce, a sweet and sour tomato sauce with a bit of chili in it. So what I did, instead of using the chili, I'm from Cape Town. We love our curry.
We do?
So I add curry to it.
I love it. So good. It's smelling amazing.
So what I'm trying to do here is we always have our traditional ceremonies happening, culture things. So what I did is try to change this dish over to be that. So we call it the tapas.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the meats that have been left over and people love eating it. They love it in the morning. They have it anytime during the day. So all the leftover meats which are actually spit out, they actually have it.
Oh, I love that idea. I love that idea, again, because it's a great way to take something left over and then feed our whole village again.
Indeed.
I love it. Okay, so spices are in there, smelling really good. What's next?
Add your paprika.
And again, this is just the sweet paprika. It's not the smoky paprika.
Indeed. A favorite, fresh garlic. I only use fresh garlic when I cook. And then I add my bell peppers.
It is smelling amazing. And again, visually, you can see how good and rich that is. Served over that mashed and samp. Oh my goodness. Okay, stock joins the mix.
Yes.
Raisins, we talk about the raisins. Where do the raisins come in?
At the end.
At the end.
Yeah.
I like that little touch because it's also very Cape Malay. Little sprinkling of raisins in the food. It adds a subtle sweetness, and we see it a lot in like boboeti and dishes like that. You be just mixing cultures. I love it. Okay.
So you add a bit of olive oil in between, or butter if you like. You add your flour.
So that's just to thicken it up, get it nice and rich.
Yes.
And chutney. Again, another South African like staple.
Yep.
The chutney also joins in at the end. So once this all comes together,
You add your stock.
That's when we add the stock.
I use beef stock. If you like, you can actually mix chicken stock with beef stock.
Of course.
Yeah, it gives it a beautiful flavor. So you add your chutney. Once it's done, you add your chutney and you want to add your raisins.
Cool. Don't do this at home, South Africa. I'm about to tilt the pot so I can kind of let you see what's happening inside this pot because it smells amazing. So let's do this. Grab the handle. I want to kind of let you see what's happening inside this pot because it is absolutely amazing. You can see the richness and the color of all those ingredients coming together. And the idea is that it's going to cook for so long that meat's going to fall off the neck. And then we're going to serve it over that beautiful, how do you say it? Creamy samp, mash, creamy?
Creamy mashed samp.
Creamy mashed samp. And again, this is another dish that will taste amazing tomorrow. So I'd say like just add all the leftover meat in it and let it keep on like getting better and better as the day progresses. But you know what, I'm gonna taste this.
To preserve it more, you can always add your brandy and your red wine to it.
Excuse me, a little bit of brandy
But I
and
like
red
to
wine?
keep it simple.
Okay, let's get a bit of that samp and the mash and the sauce. So impressive. You always impress me. I'm always so surprised how good the food is. The flavors are amazing. That sweetness comes through first. And we like our sweet food in South Africa.
Indeed.
Then that heat comes through. And that lamb is so tender. I'm not even... If you don't have teeth, this is a good one for you. You don't need them. That lamb just falls apart. And that creamy samp and mash, oh my goodness.
Gorgeous.
Give me a pillow right now. This is an amazing, amazing dish. South Africa, you need to try this dish. Chef B, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you too.
Can I take that home with
Hope
me?
to see you again, obviously.
G's fighting for this. G's fighting for
I
this.
think somebody's...
Hey, South Africa. It's been amazing. G's not getting this. I might share with him. Don't miss out on next week's Hotline. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Send us through any suggestions that you want for what you want to see featured on the Hotline. And you know how we're going to end this off, right? It's the Culinary Hotline Bling.
Ching, ching, ching.